Thinking back across my past, the mist of time, it went by fast. Things that haven't made no sense, strange things and weird events. Second guess it and give it a stir, it will bring you back to her. You will make it by living your life. Some things no asking twice. My mind wanders all of my past. So many things I just can't grasp. I feel lost, can't find my way. Looking back, I just got to say, Mr. Gumbo cooking up in my head. It's got me thinking, jumping out of my bed. Ingredients in the back of my mind, mixing up from the front to behind. I'm in the shadows, I'm trying to see the Mr. Gumbo, it's surrounding me. I'm in a place that's the oldest time. Mr. Gumbo, it's an ancient rhyme. I'm living in a mystic gumbo. I can't deny the way I go. It's got me thinking about a mystic gumbo. I'm caught up in the ebb and flow. Stirring up some mystic gumbo. The pot is boiling, mystic gumbo.
Mystic gumbo.
Ooh, a little mystic gumbo thrown in there. Never know what you could get there. Anyway, baby, it is Thursday. It is time for another Blue Dot family meeting. And as always, I'm tickled to death y'all are here. Anyway, let me see. Cobra Jetcat was the first one to jump in, followed by Debbie Capran. Sam is here. Our own Miss Chick is in the room. Irene Lambert, thank you for everything you do, baby. Randy Peterson, whoo! Thunderstorm, buddy. Yeah, how you like that? A little change of weather here. Anyway, Roger Himmelwright, Carl Vogel, Kelly Harris, Buddy Griffin, thank you very much. Annette Serrano, Jeanette Miller here, Jamie B., Dwayne's Music, and I assume Dwayne too. Linda Carlston, Amy Bowens, Uncle Fatty in the room, Vicky Fell. Oh, shit. Hope you're all right, darling. Like you ain't never heard that in your life. Anyway, Wendy Pacas here. Carol Blast, Penny Hartleman, boy howdy, Dan Hacks here. Everybody, let me get my mouse here. Anyway, what's going on in the news? Well, the big news today, baby. It's dominating the news. We got a new pope. The Catholic Church has a new pope, and it amazed everybody. I think it's an American pope. Boy, howdy shit, Pope Bob. He's taken the name Pope Louis the 14th, I believe. And, well, you know, y'all know me. I'm not very religious. I'm sure not a Catholic, but I'm not blind to the fact that the Pope has a lot of power across the globe. And in the way the way he conducts himself and his message impacts all of us. So it looks like a good deal, baby. I'm tickled to death about it myself. About time we had a little bit of good news around here with everything else going. Oh, well, we got a big deal with UK, with the United Kingdom. That's right. Donnie got his first trade deal. Well, sort of. It's going to kind of work out. It's a work in progress. But it's a mark on the board, baby. You know, after he done signed 200 of them and all the other bullshit lies he said, that people are just ringing his phone off the hook. Everybody wants to make a deal. Yeah, it's a bunch of bullshit. But he finally got a little bit of a win, and we're going to see how that works out. But, yeah, this fight ain't over for a long way. Things are going to get a whole lot worse before they ever get better again. Anyway, let me get my co-host up here so I'm not stumbling around in the dark. Because that's what I do all day, stumbling around in the dark nowadays. Hello, Miss Chick. How
you got to open the curtains, John.
Well, I do. It's a big empty house, baby. It's a big empty house.
I know.
And, you know, you can only clean so much. You can only vacuum so much, or, you know.
You know what works better? A dumpster.
What? Huh? A dumpster?
A dumpster. Yeah.
I need one of those, too. I need one of those, too. But anyway, yeah, we got an American Pope. How you like that shit?
I do like that shit. You know me, I'm not religious, even though I was, you know, born in a Catholic household. And
I did not know.
Whatever. Yeah. And I like the man.
Well, my father was Catholic. So.
Yeah.
I guess I
But
got a little blood in me.
I liked the bigger fact that I liked him was that he came out kind of right away and sort of gave Trump a what for-ing.
Yeah, he kind of gave the hint that he's going to follow on in Pope.
Yeah, I kind of liked that tone that he had where,
Yeah.
he didn't think it was very Christian-like for someone to be starving people and not helping them and
Yeah.
la la la
Yeah.
la la.
You mean like we're doing right now?
I'm paraphrasing, but yeah.
Yeah, like we're assisting right now in that
right.
endeavor. Yeah. I'm talking about Gaza cutting off food. You're going to starve people to death. What the hell do you think that is?
Yeah. Well, that's just one of the places. I mean, they
That's
cut
just
the
one.
USAID or whatever they call it, and that means
Yeah.
medicine and food to other countries
To
where
all
children
over
are
the world.
starving and have been.
Yeah.
All over the world.
Tell me again about his Christian values.
Right.
Yeah.
And in the other flip side of the news today is Bill Gates came out and has stated that his foundation is going to be closing in 20 years. He has $200 billion that he's going to be spending on good things, mostly what he already has been, because they were doing really well. But he said the
Right.
cuts that the government has made has really caused a problem in terms of changing the percentages of the help they were getting. As even his
Drastically.
stuff can't make up for it.
No.
But
No,
yeah, I think $9 billion a year is what they estimated they'll be spending for the next 20 years, and mostly doing the same thing they already had been doing.
Right.
They were looking at children and women in areas where they're underserved, hungry. They need maternity care, things like that.
Things like
vaccines.
that. Yeah, the things that we
like
used
that.
to be concerned about.
Simple medicine and doctoring. Yeah.
Not no more. Hell, we got a damn war going on between India and Pakistan, and what did J.D. Vance say? Hey, it ain't none of our business. Really? They start tossing around nukes. It's everybody's business. Yeah, they don't give a shit. They don't. Yeah, they're not going to intervene and try to be a peacekeeper or anything, or a voice in this.
I have a question about that, because they gave a number the other day as to how many nukes they had, which was a larger number than I thought. And it's like, how many nukes do you need? Doesn't it only take one to do destruction?
Yeah.
Or are they different nukes than what I'm thinking of? How many do you...
How many does it take? How many does it take? And if they start launching them like that, what does that do to the world?
Exactly.
Anybody that uses nukes, it doesn't only impact that country, it's going to impact the world. And it's just, yeah. But J.D. Vance, that's not our problem. Shit, ain't got nothing to do with it. It ain't Russia.
Nope.
If it was Russia, well, shit. We'd capitulate and surrender in a heartbeat.
Speaking of Russia,
what?
Well, they were supposed to do their ceasefire thing. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah.
And how'd that work out?
Not so good.
Not
Just
so
like
good,
I
you say?
Not so good. Yeah, right up to the last minutes or whatever. But I don't think anybody took that bluff.
Ain't we in good shape, nationally and across the world? Yeah. We're losing, baby. We're losing our standing here in this country and across the globe, baby. All because of one man. Hey, let me thank Lincoln, who just came in with a $10 donation. It says, yes, Justice John Roberts spoke at a conference this week about the need for judicial independence to put a check on the president's actions. This is another warning shot delivered to Trump. This is big, and he's right. Justice Roberts did, yes, and I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad. What the hell?
Because again, more nefarious shit in the courts, and trying to take away the power of the courts. Period. Like Supreme Court
impeach
anymore.
judges. Just get rid of judges. Just impeach them.
Well, yeah, we don't need them. I can decide everything from my throne.
Really need a Supreme Court. We have a supreme leader.
I'm surprised that Justice Roberts, but they're threatening what he has done his whole life now. Like, wait a minute,
what?
You gonna attack me too? Yes.
Me too. Yeah. Anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Uncle Fatty. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, Fatty, we can't hear you.
Can't hear you, and you're not lighting up, buddy. Nope. I'm going to put you back
Might
down,
wanna-
recycle you, buddy. See if we can.
Might want to close out your Discord and come back in, because that's
Might
usually
want to
what-
do that. Yeah, that sometimes happens. We'll try it again, though. And we'll see if that works a second time.
Oh,
Uncle Fatty. Oh, that didn't work, Uncle Fatty. Let me
Give him a
see.
second,
Ozzy,
Dave.
are you Are you with us, Dave?
Yeah, Australia's in the house, mate.
Australia's in
Alrighty.
the house. It's got to be a
Man
problem. Yeah,
from
he's
down
got to
under.
restart his. Yeah, even down
Yeah,
under. How you
I was
doing,
waiting.
Dave?
I'm doing fine. I was just going to sit back and have a nice listen today and hear what
Oh,
you had to
I
say
come and
about
disturb your ass.
No, I just wanted to see what you think about the American Pope. How you feel about that?
I'm
you
tickled
sort
to
of half
death.
addressed it.
You
I
know,
think it should be good.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm hoping. I got high hopes for it. Let's see if
Well,
Uncle
you
Fatty
know-
made it this time.
I'd say correct
Okay.
you with the right good deal.
You got it in this time, Fatty. How you doing?
All right. So even a Supreme Court justice can fuck around and find out.
yeah.
Sure, sure.
Well, can we just stand outside and just all yell, "I told you so"?
Yes, we could.
Do you think it would do any good?
No,
I don't know.
he'd hide,
Yeah,
hide
no.
behind his robes.
Who's
Yeah, I don't
gonna
think we're at
hear
that
ya?
point where it's going to make a difference yet.
Oh man,
And that's half the
Yeah.
problem, guys. I think the Democrats' messaging is the big problem because I watched a lot of news articles this past 24 hours just to catch up a bit because I've been a little bit on the sidelines with the animals and that, and I sort of got back into it and I thought to myself, my God, does America realize that their president is a crook? But the messaging is coming across from the Dems as being it. If I was a MAGA person, I would know what the fuck they're talking about because the Dems are trying to educate the mad right wingers that Trump's a nutcase and this is all wrong and the country's going backwards. But they're talking in adult talk. You have to talk to these MAGA people in child speak. Because
Yes.
once you start talking numbers and figures and dramatic, big, 10-letter words, you've lost them.
You know that
Trump gets through to these guys through being a kid. He talks like a kid, he acts like a kid, and they connect
he
with
sells
that because they
shit.
understand it.
He
That's
sells
always been a
hate.
problem.
Yeah, that's been his message ever since he came on the line.
No, I
Just
mean
hate
with the
somebody.
Dems, it's always been a problem the way they speak. It goes over a lot of
Their heads, yes.
people.
Yeah.
It's like asking Mr. Obama to come into a preschool classroom and educate those children on politics. I mean, it's just over their heads. You have to assume.
But I would put a whole lot
no
more
fault.
confidence in Obama's ability to do that
Communicate, yes.
because he
Yeah.
would do it on their level. Donnie, man, this is just really killing me. My I got a computer acting up.
Ruh-roh.
Got a black screen?
Yes, and that ain't good.
Well, Uncle Fatty, what do you think about what's happening in Oklahoma? I mean, I'm quite concerned about Oklahoma being told your secondary schools have to teach this curriculum, which basically says in 2020 Donald Trump was badly treated.
Yeah, it's political propaganda, and when we think about this stuff, it's who's paying the news commentators to say what they're saying. They're all owned by right-wing money. We know this, right? So by the time we break that down, it's the illusionary truth effect, and it's 100% propaganda. It's say something 3 times and they'll hear you. Say it 30 times and they'll believe you. Say it 300 times and they'll fight for you. Say it 3,000 times and they'll die for you.
Yeah.
And
that's
absolutely
where we
do
are.
not break rank. Always assert your authority. Always assert your strength. You notice every time he talks, or every time Carolyn talks, they mention the word strength. Strongly advised and strongly thought about, and strongly this.
Oh,
and
he tries to
Yeah.
project that he's the epitome
Oh, it's subliminal. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
but at the same time he says nothing.
Exactly, and those are the little hits of dopamine that keep the red hats fed. It's the Tootsie Roll outside of the candy shop that's there for one reason, for you to walk by and steal Tootsie Roll.
To get your ass in the shop. And they've drank the Kool-Aid, buddy.
Out of the addiction, like I've said, this is an addiction. Cult mentality is an addiction. It's playing on the brain chemicals of others. And when you're in an addiction, the last thing you want to hear is your parents or some rehab guy or some cop telling you what to do. Right? You want to do what Jesus did and what the new Pope did. Right? You meet people where they're at. He was very big on addiction recovery, and has fought for this, kind of throughout his life. And, past hour and a half of deep diving on this guy, he's a hell of a guy. All religion aside, he's a good man.
Yeah.
He meets people where they're at. He understands that every single life deserves the sanctity of dignity.
Yeah, they're not into that.
Yeah.
They're not into that.
Well, can I just bring out a very important thing that America should have hope in, and the American people? We obviously know last week we had our elections for our Prime Minister.
Yes.
And the winner of that election was very anti-Trump in a big way. He made it very obvious he does not like what's happening to America. He hates Trump. But also in Australia, we had another party called the Patriot Party. Now, this party was...
Oh, they're just outright putting it in the title, huh?
Yes. They run a mega campaign, and the guy that was the leader of the party, a guy called Clive Palmer, who is one of our billionaires in mining, he was the guy that went to Mar-a-Lago, and Trump gave him the secrets about the submarines. You remember Trump?
Right.
Yes, I do remember that story. Yeah.
Right. Well, this guy was that guy. He had a Trump party in Australia. They didn't even hardly register a vote, but our right-wing party was lost by a landslide. So the left-wing party won in a landslide, very anti-Trump, and the Trump party, called the Patriot Party, didn't hardly register a vote. So that's good news that the Trump's message is not affecting the rest of the world. So you've got a foundation to lean on. Meaning
we do. We have a foundation to build on.
Yes. Yeah.
And we need that within the Democratic Party. I'm like everybody else. I'm waiting to see who is going to be stand up and take lead. Who's going to stand up and walk point for this shit?
We need a leader.
Because we do. It's still a long way to, till presidential elections.
But that because they've already heard outcry from us on who we don't want to lead us. Yep. So I think they'll think long and hard, because there's a split in the Democratic Party too.
Sadly, Bernie Sanders has got a lot of support, but they keep throwing the age thing up. Fucking hell, how old's Trump and Bernie? There's not much difference between actually those two guys anyhow. But
pretty big vice president on a ticket, but again, it's the old white man syndrome that we're going to have to face with elections forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish we would break away from that. I wish we would find us a Kennedy, somebody young, somebody who's got ambition, got a vision. That's what this party needs.
We've got this thing within our own selves too, that we have to eat ourselves, and we have to critique ourselves to a fault. And sometimes we just have to take the Republicans' lead and just say, you know what, we're just not going to go there. We're going to stick to a point. We're going to create a narrative, right? We're going to have a weekly memo that goes out on Monday, and these are the things we're going to talk about this week, and we're going to stick to the points and not get drug into this gaslighting. Every day there's 3 or 4 things that he does.
Oh yeah.
That's right. They keep looking at the sparkly objects and then they respond to it.
Sure.
So stop it.
Yep.
Sure.
Who was it that
Like
said
a
that
kid.
if you I think it was FDR that said, if you get a white man to fear his neighbor, he won't notice when you're picking his pocket.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
in essence,
That-
right?
And that's
Summary.
basically what he's doing. We've
it.
said it
It's
from the time he came down that he has one product: hate. He hates somebody. Hate somebody. Hate your neighbor. Hate your friend. Hate your family. It doesn't matter who.
Hate
They
and
don't
blame.
think
He's
like-
got two products: hate and blame.
Hate, yes. Oh, big time on the blame, baby. And he said it
blame somebody
the
else.
other day in that interview. He said, "Oh, all the good parts of the Trump administration, all the bad parts of the Biden administration." Well, how more blatantly fucking foolish can you get? Just
Right.
idiotic.
Playing cards with my
But they
cousins.
eat it up.
They do. That's the problem. That the maggots now. I still hold out some hope for conservatives, because just how much embarrassment can you take? You made the wrong choice. You made the wrong vote. You're going to have to make a correction in your life, baby.
But they're
the
so
maggots?
emotionally
Oh,
involved,
no.
they can't.
My neighbors ain't going nowhere. Shit. Are you shitting me? Fuck
Because
you,
they're
I'm voting for
emotionally,
Trump.
they are emotionally invested. They are emotionally
Yes.
invested in Trump.
Yes,
And it's
yes,
very
they've already
hard to
gone
meet
over the
after.
line. They've shown themselves to be idiots and fools. Go down the road of this bullshit, and
You know,
they're stuck with it.
I want to bring up also the Australian 60 Minutes show did not pull any punches on Trump. We had 60 Minutes last week as well, which was about Trump, and they hammered him. So much for 60 Minutes being scared of Trump. Well, Australian 60 Minutes, no, but they hammered him.
I think you're going to start seeing that not only within the media, but within our society and within institutions themselves. Colleges are thinking about starting to form a union or a bond to stand up against Trump and his attacks on the education system. And so you're seeing more and more people. I agree. Bite his ass too. And
The bird hit the window.
But you know what really annoys me? You get some good news out the media sometimes, and then it's followed by shocking news, like this arsehole of a woman that called a young child the N-word in a playground has all of a sudden got $600,000 in crowdfunding for defense.
isn't that sad?
I mean,
Isn't
sad.
that is a sad statement of our society right there? Come on, I'm going to hit you with a fucking hammer. I swear.
Uh-oh.
So a good measure of it too. This wouldn't have happened in the 80s. The Republican caucus,
no.
the conservatives, the true conservatives, would not allow this bullshit rhetoric. You know what? I'm going to say it straight up. The true Christians would not allow this to happen.
That's right.
Like I said, there used to be a time in America, right, when the good Christians said, you do you, as long as you're not hurting me physically. But now it's all about the feelers, right? We're got to be all up in our feelers so that we can poke the other person's feelings, right? But by poking the feelings, we're aggravating our own feelings, right? So it's a bunch of bullshit. And
it is. It's an attack, what we call now DEI, which is what we all fought for if you're old enough. Back in the
DEA.
60s. Huh?
DEIA.
DEIA.
Accessibility.
What's it?
Accessibility.
Right?
DEIA.
Whatever
They
it
leave
is.
that off all the time.
And it's fear.
I'm sorry.
It's this bullshit of the white supremacist movement that is, if you're going to include everybody else but not me, then I'm not included. So now I'm the victim. It's victimhood. It's victim mentality, right? All of this crap is poor me, poor me.
It is
and you're
the
all in your
backlash
feelings.
for the audacity of the United States of America to elect a black man as president. That's what brought out all the little maggots who crawled out of the filth they lived in.
Brock started all this. It was all his fault. He's the one that made it divisive.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the good news is I believe that your eggs are down to 87 cents a dozen, and your fuel is under $2 a gallon. That's good news, isn't it?
Where?
Are you shitting me, Dave? Dave, they're
no,
paying me to buy gas now. Yeah, that's right. It's negative 50 cents a gallon now. I go up there, fill up, and they go in there and give me about, I don't know, $40, $50, $60, man.
Yeah,
Don't
but
you know? It's
Donny
the
said,
Trump economy.
no, mate, you're not
If you're going to
listening to
tell
Donny.
lies,
Donny
why not
said,
tell big ones, baby? Why not just go
no,
all the
mate,
way?
let's be fair about this. Donny did say that eggs are down 87% and fuel is under $2, so it must be true.
Okay.
It is. It
Okay?
is.
It
It
must be
is
true.
in his
When
head,
those
in
MAGA
his
people,
world,
when
maybe.
those,
He doesn't know. He ain't never put gas in a vehicle in his life. He probably doesn't even know what a gas pump is. He
I mean,
damn sure
the guy
didn't know what
doesn't-
groceries was. He is ignorant about the
That's a
things
fancy
that
thing.
normal people have to face every day. But yet these maggots look at him like, oh, he's a true American. He's just like us. Well, fucking shit. It's just sad. It's
wait till it comes for your gun. Wait till
Huh?
it comes for your gun. Wait till
You
it
know,
comes for your
Words.
He will.
Dave, I would
because-
not doubt that in under the right circumstances. If he has an opportunity to declare martial law, and he fears an uprising, then yeah, he will start. But it would be very selective. I don't know how he'd do it, but it would be us first. It would be anybody with a liberal view first.
Oh,
know.
no, it would be if you sign up to the brown shirts, you can keep your gun.
Yeah,
If you don't
there
want
you
to sign
go.
up to
There
the
you go.
brown
That's a
shirts,
good one. That's a good. He'll not come up with some kind of shit. Yeah,
Yep.
that's exactly it. As
Tell
long as
your
you
neighbor.
join his side, he'll put a brown shirt on. Or an orange. Well, no, I don't think orange would work as a uniform. Maybe, maybe.
You know
I'd like to see them
how
all in
hard
orange
dog shit is.
jumpsuits.
Mate,
Huh?
you know how hard dog shit is. You know how hard dog shit is to get off the bottom of your shoes. This is what MAGA is. It's like dog shit on your shoes. You just can't get it off.
You can't get it off, and you get
Huh?
that distinctive smell all the time.
Yes,
This
yes, you have to take your
stinks.
shoes off all the time. Yeah, it's
Holy-
shocking.
You know,
But the racial
But-
racial profiling that's going on in America is shocking at the moment. I seen a news article where the
For that
police
kind of
grabbed a
support to
black-
go to that woman, that just that
No, it's
speaks
not
to
just
who
that,
they
John.
are.
It's not just that. A black guy's walking down the freaking Las Vegas Strip or something. He's well dressed. He's a good-looking black man. He's walking down the strip with his lady, and the police grab him and ask him his name. He said, "I don't have to give you that." He spoke like he knew the law. They said to him, "Put your hands behind your back," right? Because you wouldn't give him his name, and because he had no reason to give his name, there was no crime committed in the area. So they put his hands behind his back, and he said, "What are you detaining me for?"
Contempt of
Because
cop.
you are under investigation. We're conducting an investigation about what? Oh, there's been a crime committed in the area. Hang
Yeah.
on a second. Get your supervisor. Supervisor comes along. They end up check the guy's ID out. He's a fucking FBI agent.
yeah, dude.
You know?
Yeah, that one's what? That was about a year old, I think. That one.
I think I remember hearing that
It-
story. Yeah,
Either way, it's the police. The police have
You know, I-
become emboldened.
I remember. I don't. It was a while back ago when I saw this on one of the news shows on TV. It was a Dateline or something like that. I don't know, but it showed they were talking about weapons and the difference between a black man having a weapon and a white man having a weapon. They had a video of a white man walking down a street, pretty populated street. He's got an AR-15 over his shoulder.
Oh,
He
in my
walks
town.
for a while, huh? Yeah,
town.
yeah.
Yeah, I
And
see
when a
about
cop,
4 of these guys every day, buddy. Yeah.
yeah, not a problem. A cop finally shows up, just gets out, casually says, "Hey, well, okay, what's the deal? I'm just carry, okay, open carry. It's okay, bye bye." Black man walking down the street. Holy shit! There were cops on his ass in a heartbeat, guns drawn. There,
You
yeah,
know it.
yeah. It speaks volumes of
Well, you know, my sheriff is the one that hauled that lady out of the town hall a while back ago and got caught
Oh,
stealing
really?
out of the library, and we were gonna, we had charges that were gonna be filed against him for stealing gay books out of the library. He's the guy here that's promoting for
oh shit.
all these new laws. Randy Weaver, he was basically shut down for sawing off a shoddy, and now it's legal to do that. And he's promoting federal regulations to be dropped and have this Patriot state bullshit and promoting full auto ownership. A bump stock and everything else is still legal here. And really, as far as it goes, semi-automatic, you can do just as much, if not sometimes more. But
Yeah.
This is the
It's dangerous.
It's the mentality of they feel like that they've got Trump, the president of the United States, backing them if they're violent or if they're profiling someone.
like,
Trump's got their back.
He'll pardon them, just like the January 6th. He'll declare them patriots and pardon them for whatever fucking crime they commit. Hey, let me catch up because this is 12 minutes ago. Lincoln came back in with $5. Lincoln, thank you again, and said the world is responding in their own elections. They see Trump and are like, we don't want one of those. The rebuke is worldwide. It is. You saw it in Canada.
Exactly.
You saw it in Australia, and I think you're going to continue to see it. You know, Trump is I don't know. He's shaking the world, baby. Woken everybody up. Huh?
This is just like Jim Jones and Jonestown is what this is. This is going to come down to a Kool-Aid moment.
You think?
I'm telling you, and this isn't me. This is Tony Michaels that said it, but I'm getting on board with this. That this is very so cult-ish, and it's running off the
What
playbook.
form does that take?
Well,
That's what bothers me. They drink the Kool-Aid. What form does that take?
Well, it's see he did though. He had the Kool-Aid trick, right? He did that 4 times before he actually put the stuff in it.
He tested there. He tested him. He
Absolutely.
did indeed.
And it's all a test for his side, but it's the softening of our resolve. You know, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? The louder the squeak, the more grease. And we're just not being loud enough. There's too many people that just don't watch the news. They're all checked out. They don't give a shit. They don't want the rhetoric in their life. And it's just a whatever thing, and things will just be what they're going to be, and they can go about their life being consumers. We can't allow it. And that's, where platforms like this come in, where if you don't hit the like button, right? If you don't hit the subscribe button, if you don't hit the share button, if you don't join the Discord, if you don't join the Patreon, then nothing happens.
Where's my thing?
So do all that shit.
Do all that shit. I'm trying to find which button.
With you this time, right? Tell them about this.
That's
platform.
part of that
Bring
new
them
2 for Blue. Sharing this shit, you bet. Or listening to others. And I encourage that all the time. I always say it all the time, this is not a competition between me and anybody else's voice. I hope you partake upon a lot of them. I want you to get motivated. I want you to understand that this fight that we're in is crucial and critical. We can't go anywhere else. This is it,
only
baby.
dear leader can tell me what's the truth.
Yeah. We have
justice and the American way.
That's what we need, baby. And not just on a sign. We need that in our heart. That's the difference between us and them. They claim patriotism. We live it. They claim to be all America loving, God love everything. Eagles flying by, music playing, fireworks and all that shit. We just want to make sure the homeless are taken care of, that the hungry are fed, that the sick are taken care of. That's patriotism, baby. That's what that is. Taking care of each other as a community, as a society, as a country.
Wasn't today the one of the? It's the War Day. It's the
World War II Victory Day. Is that what he? Yeah.
Victory Day. Yes. And Trump posts on Truth Social the Iwo Jima flag being raised and puts a World War II logo in front of it.
Yep. Just arbitrarily declared May 8th as World War II Victory Day. Really? The war wasn't over until September of 45. Not
May.
Know
who's doing Victory Day, John, today and tomorrow? His friend Pootie. That's why he wants to call it Victory Day.
He wants to show off his big guns.
He wants to have that parade and all that.
He wants. It's another way to suck up to Putin.
No, it's to look like Putin. This isn't sucking up. This is just wants to be equal and look like Putin.
Which is sucking up to Putin.
And or his little friend in North Korea.
You know, this
he wants
oddly
the same
enough,
thing they got.
Do you remember a movie called was only released a few years ago, and we all spoke about it on the
didn't see
show a few years ago. It was a movie called Don't Look Up. Remember that movie? Don't Look Up.
I saw
It's
the
where
advertisements for it. That's the best I could do.
a meteor asteroid was heading towards Earth. It was going to wipe out the Earth. It was a planet killer meteor. And
As long as you don't look at it, it ain't happening.
Exactly. The scientists went to the government, and the government said, "Oh, really? And what's it going to cost me?" That was the president's first words. "What's this going to cost me?" And this movie had the Trumps in it. It had the maggots in it. It had the foxes and
Fox.
AOLs. It had all the. It was the full-on current climate for America happening right now. And when I looked at the comments while watching this movie again, because someone had commented about the movie and pointed out to me how poignant it was to America's issues today, I watched it again. And I was watching the current MAGA government. It was, and the current Fox TV. It was all there. And they spun this meteor into being something great, because guess what? There's an Elon Musk character in there. And the Elon Musk character said, "Hang on, you don't blow this meteor up or try and divert it," which was their plan. What you've got to do is we'll blow it into to 6 small pieces and let them come through the atmosphere, because it's full of rare earth minerals from this asteroid worth $75 trillion. So they
won't
put
have a
this
planet,
plan
but we'll
together.
have lots of extra minerals.
They put the plan together to blow this asteroid
You know
up.
what
They're blowing their last chance to divert the asteroid. They launched the Musk-type mission, or the Musk character mission, up to this asteroid, and guess what happens? It fails. And the Earth is destroyed.
Really? How could it
because
fail?
someone could make money. Well,
How could it fail, Dave? And since you brought up Fox, boy, howdy shit, did that ring a bell in my mind. Did you hear the newest administration official coming out of Fox?
what newest? Everything's new. Everything with Trump is new. We've got new, exciting news. Breaking news.
Exciting news. I wish I could remember all of it, because I heard it, I don't know, maybe an hour before the show. It was a comment on the news. I can't remember the position, damn it. Anyway, Judge Jeannie Pirro on Fox.
Yep. Sounds right.
The one I call Judge Wino. Yeah.
Janine.
She's being considered for, damn it, it's a pretty high position too.
Oh, no.
I would look it up, but I don't have a freaking computer to do that. Damn it. One of them's dead. One of them died. So.
Okay.
In the Justice Department, John?
Huh?
In the Justice Department? I
want to say yes. I want to say yes. Because she is an attorney.
In D.C.
Is that it? The prosecutor in D.C.?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, no.
Fatty. Yeah.
So he's got
Judge Wino.
He's got his...
Yeah.
You can't write this shit.
Judges versus judges. So he's got judges are kicking back against him. Well, I'll get my own fucking judge. And she's a bigger, meaner bitch. That's what it's all about. I'll fight your judge with my judge.
Boy, howdy shit. James Tripp just came in with $5, said Joe Biden was on The View this morning. How nice to see a real president again. Yeah.
And he spoke very eloquently and wasn't...
At this point, I'd take George W. Bush. And I hated his ass. No, we've dug a new ditch with this guy. And it's a deep one. It's a deep one. Because some people are still digging.
It's these tests like this, John, that make sure that the pendulum goes back the other way.
It does.
And it's, it's not
the
just...
The arc of justice is long, but it bends... the arc of justice is long, but it bends toward... Yeah.
Did I see where they came out with a stamp honoring Barbara Bush?
Yes.
And none of the Bushes were there?
Nope. Melania was there.
Not a single.
Melania was there.
But not a single Bush, I don't think.
Who was the lady that pulled the curtain?
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Did you hear that? Well, you would have heard, because I seen this on Midas Touch, where they replayed Jamie Raskin talking in Congress, that MAGA, or we'll call them the GOP at the moment, but it's MAGA, wanted $1 billion, $1 billion, not a million, $1 billion,
A billion.
for ICE agents and bonuses. And Raskin's going, what the fuck? That's $42,000 per man. If you count every ICE agent and everyone employed by ICE, you're going to give them a $42,000. It's like fucking bounty hunters. They're going to pay ICE agents bounties.
They came
Yeah,
through
I had heard
breakdown
that.
on that. If they gave everybody like a $10,000 to $12,000 bonus, all the agents, right, and then the kind of the middle upper guys, the sergeants and lieutenants get around like 60 to 80. That leaves Tom Holman with $1 million.
My God, is that open freaking? It's
It is, and they don't care.
West.
Nope.
This is Wild West.
Funny.
1860s.
Another
America.
plane.
Pretty much.
The Navy just lost another plane. That makes 3. I knew of 2.
Oh yeah,
Two, I knew of two.
Yeah,
Yep,
we
I
knew
knew
of
of two.
Son of
yeah,
a
kind of
bitch.
crazy how they just disappear, right? Just disappear into the ocean, right?
Bloop. Just kind
Damn.
of bloop, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, bullshit.
Somebody's
falling
not
off the
tying
ships.
down the freaking aircraft. What the
I'm
shit?
calling bullshit.
Well,
No,
the
this,
second
I
one-
reckon it's bullshit.
that's-
I reckon it's
Yeah.
bullshit.
That's
I mean, one may be understandable on one, maybe. You
Maybe.
know the Navy, John.
maybe.
They're not.
Oh hell yes.
You know, they're not like that.
You're gonna have a safety stand down. Everybody's gonna get the damn word. Lose 2?
Come on.
Holy shit! Lose 3? Yeah, I'm beginning to think there's a problem.
That 2 was on the same craft too, wasn't it?
Oh
In one
man.
instance, yeah. Now it sounds to me like
Hey,
they just came from a recon flight or something and ended up, on a tarmac somewhere in, maybe like Yemen or Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? But it's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
And you hide
Yeah.
the crimes.
It is
Yeah, there's
sitting
something
in someone's. It's sitting on someone's
Somebody's
runway
head
in
should
a
roll
foreign
somewhere.
country. Yep.
Well,
Did you see?
No, I can't imagine P-Row back in court. Who has that?
Well, we should check the hank at
Maria
Mar-a-Lago.
Betancourt. No. She'd be walking around with a wine glass all drunk and everything, I swear. Shit.
Well, that's going to come with a hell of a downgrade in pay, wouldn't it? I mean, she's
Hey, I went to the
making
post office. I
like
forgot.
$14 million.
You know what I found? Nothing.
Uh-oh.
Cobwebs?
Nothing. Nothing. Went to the fucking post office, opened it up real slowly, all that bullshit again, and fucking nothing. I'm just letting you know. There's the address right there. I'm just
Hey,
saying.
did you see
What?
Jeff Bezos? Jeff Bezos said fuck Trump. He put the tariff prices in on his invoices
Oh. I
Oh,
thought
did he?
he?
with Amazon. Yes, and I don't know if it's in America, but all the other countries have got it. But I think it is in America actually. I believe that I was watching a British show, but it mentioned that
Same
Bezos
one.
had still put in the pre-tariff pricing charges. So Bezos is basically pissed off because I know that Elon Musk, when he was doing the Doge shit, he got into Bezos and all of the competition in the space things, and he found out a bit about Bezos, and Bezos didn't like Elon Musk looking up his skirt, I'm sure, and that's what Musk would have done. He would have
Right.
checked out the competition, right?
Well, we're going to find out because, like I said, they said the first ships coming in from China, they're not full. And there's a lot fewer ships. This is not going to take long to impact, consumers.
Well,
on the
as
store
Donald
shelves.
Trump's representative to you American people, I've got to say one thing to you American people who are complaining about Donald Trump. You must learn to understand this right now. If you're not happy with your current lifestyle, pick better cross lotto numbers. That's your government speaking for
That's
you.
our government, baby. Yeah. Boy, howdy
I
shit.
thought you were going to say, suck it up, Buttercup.
That's what I thought. Just suck it up, Buttercup. There's going to be an adjustment period. It's everything the
bit of
man
pain.
says is a
there's-
fucking
There's
lie,
always hope.
and it can't be
there's
described
always
any
hope,
other
John.
way. Huh?
Yep.
There's always hope. The hope is you may get cross lotto.
Yeah, I hope
win
he has a
the cross
freaking
lotto.
heart attack every day, but that ain't happening. But we got a new
No,
pope.
it's
Maybe
not, is it?
hey, I'm just saying.
Hey,
Start
yeah.
praying.
And he has come out and made a statement. He has indicated in the past he does not like the Trump and Vance government.
Yeah.
This new Pope.
Yep.
Who does?
He's got flaws. He's not as outspoken as Pope Frank was. He was, but now
The
that
only
he's got
people.
he's got the power of the pulpit, I think he will be. He's
I hope so.
I'm hoping because, like I said, the Pope has a hell of a megaphone. He speaks to the world, in his voice. There's a lot of religious leaders in the world, but the Pope, he sits up there by himself. He's pretty damn powerful.
You kind of get the impression, because this is the first U.S. Pope ever, and actually I never thought I'd see one in my lifetime.
didn't either.
No.
Do you think it's a little strategic at this point in time that they chose him?
Yes.
Not that he isn't a good candidate.
100% yes.
Yeah. That's what I
what
thought.
surprised me a whole lot.
And
I'm being rude. Yelly Man, jump in here anytime. How you doing?
Yeah, buddy.
I'm doing fine.
Hello, Yelly.
Hello, Ozzy, and hello, Fatty, and hello, Mr. Shake, and hello,
Hey.
John. Hello.
Hello, bub.
I'm very disappointed that Trump didn't become the Pope. We were all hoping that.
You reckon he had any votes?
I mean, there wasn't any
I'm-
orange smoke coming out the chimney?
It wouldn't have been
It would've been
smoke. It would have
orange
just
smoke,
been
yeah. It
pure
would've
fire
been-
shooting out.
Yeah, so I mean, we were all hoping. I was crossing my fingers. So, but yeah, I'm quite optimistic about. I've been reading up on this new Pope. He's called. He was appointed cardinal a couple of years ago by Pope Francis, which is a good
Right.
thing because Francis really knew who he knew who he appointed cardinals. He's been a missionary in the south of America. He's worked with
Right.
poor people.
He has
expected
dual
to-
citizenship. He was born in Chicago, but he had dual citizenship with Peru.
Yeah, and he has a mixed heritage. He has his father is from Ecuador, I think. So he has a little dark skin, darker skin, which is probably not going to endear him to Trump, And I think his mother was from France or something. So, I mean, he has mixed kind of heritage in his
Don't
blood.
we all?
Yeah, but yeah.
Every one of us does. Every one of us
Here in the
does.
U.S., yeah.
It's what you
But
do with it.
no, I'm quite optimistic. He has been appointed by Pope Francis. He's gonna continue Pope Francis's values. He's
I
very
believe.
concerned about
I believe.
poor people, and so I think he's going to be a great Pope. And I'd like to
Cassie Hicks
congratulate
points out that he did his ministry in Peru for 2 decades and got
Yes.
citizenship there.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So that speaks, it
And
speaks there.
so I'd like to congratulate the United States with their first Pope. I hope everybody's happy about it.
Yeah, we worked hard
Too
for it.
bad. Yeah, he didn't. He didn't post any pictures of himself as a Pope like
Well, we
Trump
could
did.
just congratulate Peru on their first Pope.
Indeed.
We can do that
Indeed.
too.
Yeah.
And I'd like to congratulate Canada and Australia with the new governments. They have chosen, I think,
Wisely.
wisely. Yeah, I think
think so.
they did something really good. And
I think that's
it's
going
a
to
Trump
continue
effect.
around
It's a
the
Trump
world.
effect. He's just.
It is a
Well,
Trump-
we learned history in Australia for life, and we're still teaching history in Australia. I'm sure Canada is as
We're
well.
trying to rewrite it here,
unlike
Dave.
America. Exactly.
We're trying to rewrite history here.
Our teenagers know who Hitler is. The American teenager, half of them didn't know who Hitler was until Trump come along.
Yep.
And
No.
that's the problem.
And the only thing they know about Hitler now is that he was a good
That's,
guy. 'cause
education
Trump
is
told
one
us
of those social things, Dave, that the Republicans aren't into that social shit. They're into business, baby.
Yeah.
Into making money.
Well, then,
Profit.
then maybe they should. Maybe they don't need fire departments.
That's how
and
come our
schools
healthcare is the
and
way it is.
hospitals.
I mean, profit.
And I'm pleased to see Mark Carney from Canada, the new Prime Minister over there, how he fact-checked Trump while Trump was sitting
While
right
Trump
next to him.
was sitting right in front of him. Yep.
Yep. Canada will
Yep.
never be for sale. It's not for sale. I've spoken to the owner
And
of
what did
Canada,
Donnie
which is
say? Never
amazing.
say never. Yeah, never.
Yeah, he's fucking what a
Yeah.
clown. What a clown. And
He is.
Trump turns around and says in front of this guy, Mark Carney, he turns around and says, but Canada's not our biggest, we hardly do much trade with Canada.
Oh,
Canada's
hell.
your fucking biggest trade partner.
Our biggest trade partner, yes. Oh, he just
But
makes
he's-
up bullshit out of his ass every day about any given subject. It doesn't matter what. He just pulls some bullshit out of his ass, says it to the camera, and walks off. That's
I
it.
got
But did one
I
Go
got
on.
the Instagram AI working on my side. Finally, I got it to work here, where I've trained it finally to trace the entire document, the entire mandate for leadership document, Project 2025, and cross-reference it with the exact wording, copy and paste in the executive orders.
Oh, Lord. Came up with a shitload, didn't it?
I mean, it's still working.
It's still.
Every
And
single
so
one.
is Trump.
And I knew it.
And
Just by
so is
looking at
the
and reading them, and reading the wording and how everything's, it's always got these adjectives like strong and substantive, mandate, right? Mandate. Why do they keep saying mandate? Because it's the mandate for leadership document. Okay, and every paragraph in that document has the word mandate in it, right?
because MAGA only hear those words, mate. MAGA only hear those strong,
fuck the
powerful words. They
Constitution.
think, that's our guy.
Fuck
That's
the
it,
rule of
go
law,
get
all that stuff.
Oh,
We
it's
don't
that
need that.
repetitive thing. They hear that one word, and then they can repeat that one word that they heard a lot.
Yep.
That's it. And
It's
we
just
got a
branding.
mandate right now is what we got. We got a centrist left, but at least leaning left Pope, who's advocating for, his first speech as Pope was building bridges and welcoming everyone, that all life is sanctimonious and deserves the respect and decency that we would give to any other person. It's First John 4:20, right? If you hate somebody else, right, you will never come to know the Lord that you cannot see when you can see the other people.
Quite a message, huh? You think they take that
It is.
part to heart?
No.
No.
They don't
No.
understand it.
You know,
They don't understand it.
Wanda Bell just made a comment, and my mind just started racing. And it's a simple comment. It says, also, Trump mentioned he was changed Veterans Day. Veterans Day changed to Victory Day. Anytime he brings that up, it really pisses me off, because we have two military holidays, Veterans Day and Memorial Day. And on Veterans Day, we celebrate those who went to war and came home. On Memorial Day, we celebrate those who did not come home. And it does not matter if it was a victory or a failure. It doesn't matter what war it was. It is honoring the people, the men and women who served this country. He wouldn't know that. I don't expect him to. But you can bet your ass he'll be front and center at that military parade, and I won't be doubted one bit if he doesn't pin a medal on himself. Because it's all just...
You know what it
Yeah.
is? It is a big fuck you to Germany and those other countries that don't like Trump by saying it was a victory day. It's fuck you, Germany, rather than being diplomatic and not bringing in hate and bringing in the ugly side of it, calling it and we don't call it Victory Day, we call it Remembrance Day in Australia, but we don't use those words, victory.
And we don't celebrate
like we
the death
fucking
of our
killed
enemy.
you. No, that's exactly right. And, people, and this goes straight into what I want to bring up is Mr. Professor Jeffrey Sachs, who is Goldman Sachs. And so he said on TV the other day, he said, Trump is so unsophisticated. He wants India to replace China. He is so vengeful. There you go. He said it so much in one. He's unsophisticated. He's uneducated. He's a stupid man running the best country, what was the best country in the world, is being destroyed by stupidity.
We're not out of the running yet, Dave. We're not about to give up. Not a one of us.
Well,
and our numbers grow every day, and I'm not talking about this show.
$1 trillion defense budget? Why? You're supposed to have saved so much money. You're supposed to have so much under control all out the world. You don't need to do that with defense.
It tells you where their mind is. It tells you where their mind is. They're not interested in health care, education. None of the social $1 billion defense budget. Oh hell yeah! Let's and I'm guaranteeing you, we know Elon Musk was out there looking for fraud, waste, and abuse, baby, and the defense industry is full of it. Yep. Fucking full of it. But hey, it's defense, so hey, grab a cigar and light up, baby. That's what because I worked at it. Because I worked at it and I saw it. But oh, hell yes, let's bump that up, baby, because that'll buy a lot of votes. That'll buy a lot of votes. But fuck your health, fuck your education. Just, it's heartbreaking to see this country go down the road we're going down, where we're turning our back on our own citizens.
That's what we see from the outside. We see the government shitting on the people and deceiving the people. It's so obvious to the world. It makes us sick. True patriots to your own country
should make anybody
feel sick.
He's not, Doug. He's not qualified to run a damn thing.
I'm going to say it again, and I'm sure it's getting worn out, but this is 1930s Germany. Let's not forget it. You know? Let's also not forget that the
desired outcome is the same, Dave.
This week,
the desired outcome.
Putin shot down MH17 over Ukraine. If I remember, it was happening this week.
The ceasefire? Aren't we having a ceasefire over there, Dave? Isn't Ukraine and Russia having a ceasefire? Yeah.
No, there's some evil people dealing with your lives. There's evil people running your lives.
They're running the world right now, Dave. They want to run the world. But the world is going to stand up, baby. I do. I believe that. And Australia and Canada is already, taking the first steps. And I think it's going to be a worldwide head turning.
I was wondering about the Australians, Dave, because you talk about all these drunk koala bears. Do you know how they voted? Do you know how they voted in the election?
They were too stoned to get out the tree.
Yeah, they probably were, weren't they?
Yeah, that's what it was.
You stuck a thermometer up their ass, and they were quite happy, weren't they?
Yeah, well, they don't mind. They don't even know the thermometer's up their ass. Which, by the way, someone in the chat a couple of weeks ago, I was talking about. I think Mr. Chick replied to this. Someone said, "What's this going on with this Aussie Dave running around with thermometers? Does he run around with thermometers sticking out people's asses?" And Mr. Chick replied, "Never let Aussie Dave get behind you with a thermometer."
So
no.
That's right.
Yeah.
Dave has experience.
That was me.
But we all know why you do that, Dave, because you want to check the temperature of the people.
Yes.
You want to
of the people. I do my polling differently than the others.
Yeah.
You're right, Maria. Times have changed.
Yeah.
I get the temperature of the nation.
Do you use the same on everybody, or do you change it? I mean, do you stick everybody?
I've got a different one for mega people. It's twice the size, and it's got barbs. It's got barbs on it. When you
mean
pull
that
it out,
turkey baster looking thing?
Yeah, that turkey
that's the
baster
one.
thing. Hey, let me catch up real quick. Keith Thompson came in with a $5 donation, and I like his message. It says, "Fuck Trump and fuck Fox fake news." I'm just saying. I'm reporting the news just as it comes across the ticker. And Leslie B, it did not pop up because you didn't make a comment, but I got the message anyway. Came in with $5 donation, and so Leslie, thank you very much, baby. I appreciate that tremendously. So let me get back down there.
I'm sure. Yeah, you just report the news, John, because you would never say fuck Trump, would you? I mean, come
No,
on.
no, of course not. That would be, that,
That would be beneath you,
Well,
wouldn't it?
yeah, that would
that
be
sounds
beneath me to
like,
say fuck Trump.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
sounds like
There
a
you
cue,
go.
John, a cue for a song, mate.
With
Have you
every
played the
breath
song,
that comes
Joe?
out of my mouth in one way or another, I'm saying it.
I'm
Have
sure
you played
do.
the song? John, play the song. Play the
I
song.
just need you to shut the fuck up, cause nobody asked you, bitch. I need you to shut the fuck up, bitch. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Just shut the fuck up, bitch. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Bow, bow, shut the fuck
That's
up.
the part
Shut the
right
fuck up. Bow, bow,
That's when he's
shut
going
the
to a
fuck
swing.
up. Shut the
That's
fuck up.
right.
Bow, bow, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Bow, bow.
Oh, you know something?
I just need you to shut the fuck
Let's
up.
do that again.
Nobody asked you, bitch.
Yeah.
I need you to shut the fuck up, bitch. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Just shut the fuck up, bitch. Shut the fuck up, bitch.
I'd love to hear that music being played at one of his,
Shut the fuck up. Bow, bow.
one of his
Shut
press
the fuck
conferences.
up.
Yeah, one of his rallies.
Yeah, one of his rallies. Just shut the fuck up. Save us some, the embarrassment of having to
It's
listen
so
to your
nice we
bullshit.
heard it twice.
We heard it twice, Jorge. How the hell are you doing, and how is the lovely Dan?
Oh, lovely Nan is just fabulous as always.
Good.
And did
Good.
you see Howard Butlick today in the Oval Office with the thing with the trade with England?
Yeah.
And we started off with 10% trade, and we ended up with 10% trade, and no one could have done it but Donald Trump. Because
Nobody
he's a
but
fabulous
Trump.
Deal closer.
It was amazing.
Deal closer.
He is a deal maker. He holds his guns, baby.
And no one could have done it, but our glorious leader, it's time
Yep.
for another lick the ass session with Howard Butlick. And oh God!
And that's the way they sell it.
And then
That's the way they sell it, like
took
it's a
the
great
tariff-
big deal. It wasn't shit.
They took the tariff off the Rolls-Royce engines, and then they're sitting around laughing about buying Rolls-Royces. It's a bunch of millionaires laughing about buying Rolls,
Yeah.
And here they're taking away kids' health insurance, and they're laughing about buying Rolls-Royces.
Bro.
That's the way it
Oh,
goes.
but the optics are great. The optics are just fucking great, aren't they?
Well, now to be fair,
Oh,
now
lovely.
they were talking about
The
the
last-
Rolls-Royce jet engines coming in,
Engines, yeah.
and the cars are just happened to be in the Rolls-Royce.
The
inventory,
last group
Yeah,
of
but
people that
this
did something
happened
like
to
that
be-
got guillotined.
They did, yes.
What's that about a guillotine, Miss Chick?
I said the last group of people that talked like that got guillotined.
Or burned at the
And
stake.
the thing about the drunk koala bears.
Oh, the
I was
good
thinking,
old
Dave,
days.
wouldn't that be like a great Rolf Harris song? Drunk koala bears, sport, drunk koala bears.
Well,
it's just time you can't go down.
Jorge, let me tell you a funny. Let me tell you, you bring up a comedian like Ralph Harris, etc. Let me tell you a funny story. It was an American comedian, and his name escapes me, but he was on an English show called QI, which stands for Quite Interesting. And he was talking about how he came to Australia and visited the koalas, right?
I love it.
And he was also reiterating, saying how these koalas are always drunk because of the eucalyptus. Anyhow, he got to hold the koala in his arms. He said, "Oh, it's beautiful." He said, "But somehow this koala was so drunk that it slid down my arm and my thumb went up its ass, right, into the plug hole,
On
right?
accident.
And and the koala was stuck on his thumb." And he said, I looked at the koala's face, and he said it looked like it was orgasming. Basically, it was just. He said the koala was just loving it. And then the warden, well, not the warden, the ranger said, "I'll take the koala back now." And he said, "Well, can I hold it a bit longer?" She said, "No, I've got to take it back to blah, blah, blah." He said, "Well, it's stuck." He couldn't get off his fucking finger. Anyhow.
It's stuck.
Now, there's got to be a song in that,
Yeah, a koala fingerer. Yeah, up the finger up the koala's ass.
It just needs to be set to music, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
Boy,
Anyway, I couldn't help it. It was a Rolf Harris. It just popped into my head with drunk koala bears. And
Yeah, but he was a pedophile, Rob.
Yes, Jerry, the Penguins did make a deal with Trump.
And then everyone
they're going to pay the
these
tariff,
days, I
buddy.
think.
They're paying the tariffs. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
going to be
Banner.
reciprocal. It's going to be reciprocal. You know that, don't you? I mean, it's going to.
What are we going to give the Penguins?
Exactly, but it's still going to cost America. It's still going to cost you whatever
Fresh
you
one.
get from England. You're going to pay for it. But I don't think I don't
Dave,
think
we're
it's
going
much
to
of an
pay for this
improvement
for
anyhow.
a long time. It is going to take a long time to correct the mess that this man has made. Not to mention the fact that, worst case scenario, we have to wait 4 years to do it. That's the
He's
worst case
bypassed
scenario.
Congress, mate.
Huh?
He's bypassed Congress. He's bypassed
Got no
Congress.
use for
with all the
Congress.
executive order. No,
Having
He has no
Robert
use for
Supreme
Congress. He has no use for the courts.
You know, but I don't understand how a president unilaterally can just put tariffs on other countries with no approval from Congress.
exactly.
Every
Not
single
normally.
one of these things that he
Congress
signed
is giving
The
it
only
up.
approval rating that he is concerned about with lies in his own head. That's it.
Yeah.
I have a question. What if nobody collected the tariffs?
What if nobody collected the tariffs?
Yeah. They just said,
That
oh, we're going
that
to
would
ignore
kinda be
that.
like a, yeah.
Customs will
That's
do
what
that.
he's doing to everything that we have. He's ignoring it, throwing away,
Just-
whatever.
that's
Well, what if we
correct.
just
The
ignore
tariff.
his shit?
Did you hear that he went completely apeshit crazy when Amazon decided to actually show on the bill
what it was gonna
what
cost?
part
Yep.
of-
Yeah.
what part
Because
of the price
Amazon
of
doesn't
tariff.
want to take the hit for it for the
The hit.
No.
yeah.
There's a whole lot of people doing
Because
that.
Bezos, he doesn't need anybody cutting into his profit, for God's sake.
No. So he was kind of, okay, this product is $20.
And that's a true
$7
fact
this,
there.
this,
Hitler
this.
did have a parade on
Yeah.
his 50th birthday.
It's like
27,
fourth grade
too.
economics. Okay, when you take a product and you take a business and everything's operating as is, right? And you throw a wrench in it like this, the consumer always pays it.
Somebody's
It's not
gotta pay
like
for the repairs.
China's going to write us a check. He thinks China is going to write us a big, fabulous, grand, strong check.
I don't think so, Lucy.
Not how it
Well,
works.
see, and his idea is that if we're not buying stuff from China, we're saving money.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, that's
Yeah.
But we're not getting
that just means we don't have the products.
either.
We built this house. We
we're
wanted
not getting
the Chinese
anything
product.
either,
We
you
wanted the
know?
cheaper, options. We built this shit. A world
And this guy
economy.
supposedly went to like a school of business.
Oh,
The Wharton School
please.
of Business.
the Wharton School
His
of Business.
daddy bought that degree.
he only
His
I'll
daddy
never
bought and
believe
paid
he
for
got
everything that man did.
Yeah,
He bought and paid for his
Absolutely.
draft dodging ass too.
he's a moron.
Bone Spurs while he played tennis and baseball, mind you. He was playing tennis
I
and
have
baseball at
a-
the same time he took that deferment. Somebody
I'm
went in his
quite
place.
proud
That's
of
all
it.
I'm saying.
I'm quite proud because I have a history degree from Trump University.
how much did
Excuse me.
Yeah, so I'm very proud of that. I'm kind
Yeah,
So your student loans are coming due there, Yelly Man.
yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
He only takes cash.
Yeah, he only takes cash, So I, when you tell me that Hitler was a bad guy, that's not what they taught me at Trump University. They said he was a great conqueror of Europe.
He was a deal maker.
It was a brilliant
Yeah.
man.
He
All that
could
kind of
close
shit.
a
Yes.
deal, boy. He could close a deal.
The
Yeah.
sad fact is, he was a brilliant man. Unfortunately, he had a dark fucking side. He had
He
world
had some
conquest on his
problems,
head.
Yeah.
He
He
had
should have
issues,
stuck. He
okay?
should have stuck to
He
his
was a-
artwork. He was a pretty good artist. He should have stayed on the street
Oh,
painting
yeah,
oil.
yeah.
He should have just bought his fucking paintings, and none of that would have happened.
No
you
shit.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
should have bought his painting. That could have prevented a fucking war, I mean,
he was bullied, right? He was shunned and bullied. He was ostracated from his own society, just like Trump, right? He's never been a part of the elite,
No,
right?
he
That's
has
his whole
not.
goal in life is to be the elite.
They've
and to
always
be
held
admired.
him out.
You know,
held
it's
him
the
at
narcissist
arm's
that
length.
needs to feed on that. He has to
Well,
have
his
the
daddy was a ghetto,
slumlord.
landlord.
Slumlord,
and
yeah, he was a
That
slumlord.
was not respectable in the elite of New York City. I mean,
Well, that's
but he
why
did,
Donnie came
he did
along
have,
and
he
evicted them
did
all
have
and tried to turn them all into whites only, which is
didn't he
what he
also
did.
have on their he had on their applications that the C for coloured, which meant that they couldn't get a some
Yes.
apartment.
They were sued. Yes, this is the big talking point in the debatosphere right now. This whole thing with him being the big broker and the big developer. He's not even top 30 in New York for brokers and
well,
developers.
and look at the
And
way he
and when
treats
they got,
Puerto Ricans. Okay, you
yeah, when
know
they got
they treated Puerto Ricans that way in their apartments, and now he throws paper towels at them when they have a hurricane. You know, he's a racist.
they were sued 3 times for that. And after the third time, Fred went out and spent $1 million and formed his own Jewish league, right? And got some sycophantic on his side and bought himself a trophy and an award, right? In the late
Stupid
late
son of
70s, early 80s, right? For this Jewish award for being, so inclusive with society. Bunch of bullshit. It's all smoke and mirrors.
Just want to slap.
All
Is
smoke and mirrors.
Just want to
like
slap
Trump
the fuck out of him.
winning tournaments at his own golf course and getting trophies? Kind of like that.
Hey,
Well,
Carl,
Trump,
it ain't
They're
belly up
kinda-
yet, but
they're
I think
kinda
it's
big on
trying.
trophies, aren't they?
I think it's kicking its
Like
legs
Trump
up
father,
is,
here.
like son, you know.
Trump just won a humanitarian award for great things for the country. I believe the Penguins gave him a humanitarian
Yeah,
award.
yeah, I'm sure they did.
So the
So that's
raccoon.
going to be
Penguins,
hard.
Yeah, the
Those
And he's
raccoon.
Penguins
still
sure
not.
are generous,
He's still
aren't
not.
they?
He's still not hanging up Biden's picture in the White House. Is that right? Do
Oh,
I
no.
hear this right?
Yep, that's right.
Nope. They've taken down all pictures in the White House of anybody of ethnic background, so to say.
But other presidents, I mean,
It's who he is.
every president gets their picture in front of the Oval Office in the hallway there. Every president, and also in other places of the building.
And
But
they have the
Biden's photo-
unveiling and the hanging ceremony
What was that?
Yes,
What was that? What was that?
it's
comment?
not
for
happening
all of them.
because why? Is the only pictures in the White House the pictures of Trump? I mean, he's got gold in there. I couldn't believe the White House, the amount of gold that's in there.
Oh,
It looks like
Like a
American House.
whorehouse.
Goodwill
and
has
that's
sale on
exactly
God.
what it is, Jorge.
Yeah.
It's a whorehouse
Yeah.
now. That's
Just like
exactly
his
what it
grandpa.
is. We've got a whore for a president. And
He
that's what he's
pimped
going to
it
do,
out,
man. He's going to
baby.
sell us out, baby. He's prostituting us
But-
out.
But you, John,
Well,
Huh?
we just know that Trump is actually the one who invented gold paint. So you got to give it to him. Nobody had been able to do that. So he told
Nobody.
in an interview to that Laura Ingraham that that nobody had ever been able to paint something with gold before him. And she said, "Oh,
That's-
yeah, that's true. Yeah."
That's
So
why they didn't let him in Fort Knox, Yelly. They didn't
Yeah.
let him in Fort Knox. They thought
if
he
they did,
would
no
steal the
one
gold.
certainly did it better than he
Penny
did.
Hardeman says
So
it's the
I have to
Antichrist that is
congratulate-
obsessed with gold.
I have to congratulate
ponder
you, John.
that.
You have a great inventor in the White House. You have, your president is like a genius.
Yeah, he's inventing all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
None of it constitutional. None of it we want. None of it is needed. He's
Well,
selling
I just
a
can't
product
believe how
that we
many
Well,
don't
see, and
want.
he's doing all the
I can't believe how many people
he's
feed
doing all
this
the
guy.
stuff that the first lady normally does in decorating, because the first lady normally handles decorating, but she ain't there. So
No, but
he's
she says, "Fuck
turning it
Christmas."
into a cat
Where
house.
is she? Where is she?
She was there today.
Away. She's away.
Must have been payday.
No, she had to stand in front of
Yeah.
that stamp poster of Barbara
Oh,
Bush.
Jorge might
Donald,
not like that.
Donald, I need a check for $5 million. Donald, I need to buy underpants. Donald,
Yes, Donald. Hey, let
She's
me
made
thank
almost
Lincoln, who
300
came
million.
back in with another $5 and said Rosie O'Donnell, in a recent interview, remembers seeing a couple of his planes repoed off the tarmac and wonders to this day why everybody forgets. His airplanes, he went bankrupt at a casino. How do you lose money at a casino? And Lincoln came back after that with another $2 and said, Trump is Jorge Democracy Biter. Ooh.
Did you
Jorge.
see that, Jorge? He just made a joke on your behalf.
Don't you stir shit here, mate. Don't you stir the pot.
Stunned. I am stunned.
Stunned,
It
I
was
say.
wonderful, though.
Stunned.
I
Speechless.
like it, but
Happily
I'm stunned.
speechless.
Happily stunned.
Yeah, he's a
Yes.
Jorge is a character,
a-
one of a kind. Baby.
Fabulous job.
I've had a beer
Kirk
with this
is a-
gentleman. Have we
Kirk
not
is
shared a
very
beer?
Inventive guy.
Matter of fact, we shared more
What'd
than
you
one
say?
beer, didn't we?
Probably
Yeah,
doing
more
your
than one,
job.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
And you were clean shaven. That's what
I
I had
was.
to drink
I
just
was.
to look at you, man.
I know it. I was pitiful looking. I was. No beard at
It
all,
was
man.
quite a day. Yeah.
Yep. Those were the
We
days,
got
my
to do
friend.
that.
That ain't never
again.
happening again. No, that reminded me of just how bad I look.
Nan's got a wheat penny for you. She's been saving up, so
Has she?
yeah.
All right. Well, I need to get it.
Okay, I
need to
want to
come
talk
get it.
about the midterms. Are the midterms going to happen in America? Is the midterms going to happen? Do you think that Trump will allow the midterms
Why,
to happen?
sure. We're going to have elections.
It's sketchy, man.
Yeah, that's a ticket.
That's what I
Well,
think.
you'll go down there and put on a piece of paper who you want, and we'll do that.
We'll think
Because
about
they're still
Yeah.
in court now.
whose balance we
They're still in
count.
court.
It's a joke, but it's something we better think about. We better
You
consider.
you better think serious about it.
And that's how come I always repeat.
Make
Don't
sure you're registered.
make sure. Check your shit. Check your shit. If you got an election coming
Make
up or
double sure.
any kind of election, doesn't matter what it is.
Especially if you're in a red state, you better make sure.
Make sure,
Yeah,
baby.
Idaho's
Make
been
sure.
doing a purge again too. It's a fact.
Yeah,
Straight up.
Yeah.
Elias, whatever his name is, from the he's often on the Brian Tyler Cohen show. He's
Elias.
a lawyer for the Democratic, whatever it is. He goes to court and fights these freaking GOP attacks on your voting rights. He does it quietly in the background, but he's under attack himself from Trump. But basically, he's won a lot of cases, and they're still in court now with 20 or 30 cases in each state trying to make sure you struggle to vote. So there's someone in the background, guys, fighting a struggle.
That's where you
democracy.
have to worry about where the fight is. Well, we get all these shiny objects to holler about. It's what they're doing in the
It's
background,
called
and that is
Democracy Watch, and it's Mark Elias.
There
and
you
if
go.
you want to subscribe, that'd be a good channel to subscribe to.
say it again.
He's a good lawyer.
Democracy
Brian
Watch
Tyler, yes.
There you go.
with
Highly
Mark
recommend.
Elias. Yeah,
But he does a joint show with Brian Tyler Cohen
right. He's
during
on-
the week. Democracy Watch, he
on the
calls it
front
with him
lines.
together.
He's on the
Yes,
front
he
lines
is.
fighting this shit for all of
He
us.
was on 60 Minutes a couple of months ago because the Trump was trying to shut him down as a crooked lawyer and all the typical bullshit allegations and trying to get him his license taken away. He's an evil man, this Trump, guys. He's an evil bastard. He's
But
pure
I
evil.
just back on that a
I
little
think
Well,
it's
bit.
out,
funny
baby.
that Trump's trying to get somebody's law license taken away since every lawyer that ever worked for him got their law license taken away.
And that brings up there seems to be a little coalition forming of law institutes or
You
law.
ever notice that?
MAGA attorneys get attorneys.
Yeah, attorneys needing attorneys,
Yes.
attorneys getting attorneys. That's what it is. But they're starting to form a coalition. Some of these law firms to try to stand up to his ass, take his to court. Somebody ought to.
Well,
I don't think he's
Well,
smart
it's-
enough for evil, though. I think the evil term is being overplayed a little bit because of the Christian nationalism and the Christofascism. It's played itself into the talking points. But let's look at the facts, guys. Okay, his dad had a fake office that they would sit him in with a fake phone and let him run his fake company, right? And Stephen Miller He's playing by the history books. He turned the history books into the playbook. Okay, and he's a mark, is what he is. He's a mark. He's a target that's being targeted for his stupidity and his egotistical, sycophantical ways of operating, right? All he does is repeat the talking points that are in his ear. He's not smart enough to do any of this shit.
No.
We know this, right? So we got to get off this Trump predicate and start saying the Heritage Foundation and the billionaires.
Well, the president of the Heritage Foundation did come out and say a few years ago that the Project 2025 can only be successful if they've got a stooge for a president. And that was his word.
Exactly.
Well, there you go.
They got him.
There you go. They found one.
He's all about the glory, and he's a narcissist, right? He feeds on people's praise and admiration, right? It's not a sociopath. It's not about the twisting and the manipulating and the chaos and the fun of causing chaos, right? All he wants is admiration. That's the only thing he wants. That's why he projects the strength. That's why he uses adjectives to describe Trump himself in the third person.
Yep.
Only if one time Biden would have said, well, if Biden did this and talked about himself in third person,
they'd call him crazy. They'd call him crazy, want him removed from office because he's nuts. He's talking to himself. Trump does it all the time. Trump does it all the time.
What's the rule of the fascist movement, right?
He's a narcissist from the word go, and you're right. He does want that. That's why he wants the power that Putin has, and he wants the adulation that Kim Jong-un has. Those are the two things that Donnie wants most in life. He wants the power of Putin and the adulation of Kim Jong-un.
There's two reasons. An old white man or an old black man walks down a ramp or stairs slowly and carefully. Either one, it's because he's a bumbling old fool, or two, he's just an old wise man that's later in his years, but he's still a wise man. That's what Biden was. The other guy is a bumbling fool, Trump. They both struggled with ramps. They both struggled with stairs, but one had a brain, a big brain.
When you got Alzheimer's, you're into things like vertigo.
The bullshit of Trump has clouded the successes of the Biden administration. Correct. The bullshit that, yes, every time that we turn on the news, you don't hear of all the good shit that Biden did, and he did plenty. He did plenty. But you turn on the news, and boy, howdy shit. It's been that way. It's been that way for over 8 years.
Well, who owns them? Follow the money, right? They're all owned by the same characters. They're all driving the same narrative. It's this equilibrium of everybody has the equal amount to put their proposition forward, even if it's an extremely Nazi style piece of information.
It could be so.
It's the normal. It's all normal.
He packaged the product Nazism and is selling it under a different name, but it's still the same shit.
There's a reason that CNN and others, I won't say MSNBC because I'm still on the fence with them at the moment, but there's a reason that, like in the past, when you have previous presidents and the current presidents, they always showed the timeline and the achievements in that timeline. Now, you don't see these television stations saying, okay, here's Trump on the left, here's Biden on the right. Let's go the first 12 months of Trump, the first 12 months of Biden, or the first 100 days. And let's compare the figures, jobs, economy, stock market, so forth. They can't do that, and they won't do that because it makes Trump look really, really bad and Biden look really, really good. And that's the sad part about...
Lose your broadcasting license real quick talking shit about dear leader, I tell you what.
Exactly.
Yep.
The intimidation to the truth, the intimidation to the law is insulting to... it's insulting to the worst of the worst. It is total denial of law and facts. This man is brainwashing the stupid. And I don't think that many Americans are stupid. I think there's so much corruption within the last election that America didn't turn away from Kamala. She won.
I think the last election got their attention. I think
I'm getting on board a little bit with manipulation stuff that was going on, because he keeps, every time he speaks, he mentions that he has a mandate and that he won all 7 swing states.
Yep. He throws
which
that
has
in
never
heavy.
been done before. It was theoretically impossible for him to do that, right? And he keeps mentioning this because he knows that's what
Sell.
No, it's the slip, right? It's the slip. It's the
Freudian slip.
Yeah, the liar, the guy that always lies, right? Whatever the term is, I forget. They always
Pathological.
Yes, they always have a
pathological liar. And
that's,
he
that's
is.
the pathology of it, is that you have to mention it and put it out there like it's just a normal thing, but it's really the main thing, right? Why would he mention that in every speech?
You're too hard on Trump. He's a true patriot, and I can't wait for that.
Shut
glorious,
the fuck up, Yelly.
I can't wait to piss on his grave. How about that?
Oh, mate. What are you drinking over there? What are you smoking?
Hey.
I'm having koala piss tonight.
Koala
it's really
piss?
good. Yeah.
Get your fingers out the arse of the koalas.
Yeah. It's a good juice.
The new deal going around is that panda bears do not exist.
No, they don't. No, we're having brown bears in Norway.
Wait a minute, I didn't hear that.
No.
Panda bears don't exist?
That's the new deal, right? It's this it's the driving of the narrative from the negative. It's like flat Earth, right?
Oh,
Yep.
Okay. I get you.
Yep.
Okay.
Right?
Well, you fall off the fucking edge. I can see it from my I can drive down right down to the bay.
I can see Alaska from my driveway.
I can see Alaska.
But is it true, John? I mean, you have a lot of koala bears you have a lot of pandas on your property, don't you, John?
I have to kick them out of the way all the time over here.
Yeah.
And puppies,
That's
and new puppies. Tell us about the new puppies.
Did anybody see? I posted on Facebook. The gang of 8. I posted 8 little photographs of my 8 new little puppies. And they're all doing fine. There's some.
You
cute
need to start
little
looking for
buggers
homes now.
They are some cute little shits, I'm telling you.
They are.
Yeah.
Well, I do got some good news coming
sucker.
out of the Idaho way here, or at least Boise.
What?
What's that?
The mayor down there has been fighting our state attorney general over flying the gay pride flag in front of City Hall, which has been there for about 20 years.
Yeah.
And these new laws about the displays, like we had the teacher that had to take down the poster, and we're challenging that. But they never put any stipulations in with this flag law that they passed on any consequences, right? It's just, it gave us a standard of what ought to be displayed out in front of these.
That's freedom of speech. It's protected by the First Amendment. So that
Here you go, bringing in the Constitution again. We're beyond that. We're past that.
Well, they turned their flag into the gay pride parade flag. So now the flag is an actual city-sanctioned flag. It's the flag of the city.
Outstanding.
But it is with freedom of speech. It is protected by the First Amendment.
Absolutely. But
yeah, they don't have much use for that, unless it's their voice.
Yeah.
And
we got a guy
laws for thee, not for me.
And it's the victimhood complex, Well, if you're going to fly that flag doesn't represent me. Well, does the prisoner of war flag represent you? Does the Navy flag represent you? Never being a veteran, never being a part of that group. It's symbolism, right?
It is.
This whole thing with the Christian nationalism and the fascist movement is the symbols, right? It's all about the symbols and the ideology of the symbols and the emotion, the appeal to emotion that the symbols drive out of us, right? And putting those symbols in our face all the time intentionally to drive our emotions to be able to trigger us.
I see that. Yeah.
And we got to get past the talking points that are the trigger. Recognize the trigger for what it is and throw it right back in their faces because there's no facts
photos.
to back any of their shit up.
Well, guys, I'm going to give you some good news or bad news. Take this for what it's worth. I've just gone into my news feed, and
Yeah.
it says breaking news: John Deere announces a shutdown of its U.S. Production in U.S. It's basically, it says fuck them. I'll read it. It's called the Auto Edge, which is like a union thing, I suppose. But basically, they're saying John Deere's not going to put up with this Trump shit.
Yep.
They're obviously going to move offshore.
Yep. Subaru pulled out. Well, Subaru's got another few months. Honda's maybe got like another month or two worth of inventory on the ground, and they'll be pretty much done in America until something changes. Nissan's doubling down and gonna boost their
You don't hear this in the news, though. You don't hear this in the news, do you? All these companies moving out of America. What Trump's saying, everyone's coming back to America.
Oh yeah,
all moving in.
People are dying to make. They've got plans to build factories all over the country, plants and all that shit. Yeah, no, none of that's happening.
I've just posted that article on the chat in the Discord there.
Thank you.
I haven't read it, but it's coming from Fox News, by the way. So there you go.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, ain't we in bad shape if Fox News is waking up? Boy, howdy shit. It's bad. Anyway.
That is.
I guess we're going to wrap it up for the evening. Huh? What's that about Fox?
I just saying, Fox News is. Well, they are actually Fox News. I've noticed the articles I've seen.
They're forced to. They're having to force to report what they don't want to report.
Yes, and it's in their voices. You can see they're struggling to say, the job numbers are down, but but yet last week they're saying job numbers are good. The Fox News has got a lot to answer for. They got a lot to answer for.
Fox News is the one that laid the path for Trump. They paved it for him. So fuck Fox.
Sean Hannity is one of the worst fucking assholes.
Yeah, well, don't worry. He's probably going to be secretary of something pretty soon.
Oh, yeah.
Judge Pirro. Oh, shit. Judge Bueno, I swear.
That bitch. Oh, God, she's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
She used to be a judge. Didn't she used to be a judge?
Yes.
On TV.
Yes.
In New York, yeah.
She
was a prosecutor in New York, too. In New York.
Yeah, she should have had a little bit more sense since she's educated.
She's got the one requirement necessary.
She went into
She's got the taste of
you
Trump
know?
shit on her lips. She's been up his ass for years. So that's the number one requirement.
Baby.
Anyway.
Greg Gutfeld who's the number one comedian in America, isn't he?
What's his name?
Greg Gutfeld.
All right, thank you. There you go. Good job right before we walk out the door.
He's a piece of work, yeah.
Anyway. All right, we're going to shut it down for the night. I want to thank everybody for coming in and enjoying the conversation. The mood was very good tonight. I appreciate that. So on that note, Yelly Man, thank you, brother, for coming in.
No sweat. It was nice talking to you again. I hope
it was
you
a
had
good talk, brother. Indeed.
Yeah.
Come back.
I will. See you next time.
Right.
Bye-bye.
You betcha. Take care of yourself. And Jorge.
You too.
On behalf of all of us at Rancho Tire Biter, I wish y'all all a good evening and a prosperous mañana.
Mañana.
Oh, yeah.
Mañana.
We're 5 miles from town at the dead end of a dirt road.
You can't
right
miss
where
it.
we belong.
Right where they belong. Outstanding, Jorge. Y'all take care of yourself.
Located.
Have you? What?
Good night, John.
Good night, Jorge.
John, boy.
Good night, buddy. Take care of yourself. Give my best to Nan. And Dave.
Yo.
Always appreciate it, brother.
My pleasure. My pleasure. It was a lot of fun. I had a ball. And next time I see the light on, I'll pop in.
Outstanding. We'll be here. Always appreciate your view, Dave. Always.
My pleasure.
All right.
For sure.
And Uncle Fatty.
Good night, Mr. Chick.
Big high five from Rancho Fat Ass. How about that?
From Rancho Fat Ass. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Outstanding.
Well, you
Uncle
know,
Fatty, I appreciate you
today-
coming in, buddy.
Today is the day, John. You know, Blue Dot in Idaho will be making its premiere broadcast.
Outstanding.
And I'm actually restreaming this right now. I know we got some shit sharers out there. Make sure you guys are shitting and sharing.
Shitting and sharing.
Shit.
There you go.
Straight up, we can share it. The way this
Outstanding.
stuff grows, the way the information gets out there. Join the Patreon, right? You can get your name in the credits.
Okay,
Join the Discord,
there.
right? You can get in here with all of us and
Get
hoot and holler and do all this shit all day long.
And you can go into the Blue Room afterwards. There's a lot of hooting and hollering going on after the show. Not to mention, we have a book club every Monday that meets, and they read a book together and discuss it and all that. Yeah, there's a lot going on in the Blue Dot family. Always.
And,
Recipes.
we might get spurned out a little bit, and, you know, our opinions are our own and not the channels, but, you know,
Yeah.
it is one big family, and, you know, if we
It
can't
is.
bitch at each other, we bitch at.
No, we prefer you not. But it is
Yeah.
one big family, and it grows every time I turn around. Loving it. I appreciate it, too. Uncle Fatty, till next time, brother.
Always a pleasure, guys. Miss Chick,
All right.
be well.
Take care of yourself.
Night, Betty
And Miss Chick.
and John.
Oh, baby. I'm so thankful
Made
for
it
you.
through
I
another
really am.
one, huh?
Made it through another one. Yes, I did. Yes,
You
I
did.
did. Yep, because, again, an hour before the show, nope, I'm not into nothing. As a matter of fact, I'm washing dishes and just doing shit. I'm doing shit. You know,
I still have to wash the dishes.
I know it. It's pitiful when you start just washing dishes just to wash dishes and shit. Just, hell, I've washed the walls. Like, house is
Well,
going to be
washing
pretty damn
dishes is
clean.
a good thing.
Yeah. Well, I usually, you know, like let them sit there for a little
I want
while.
you to put on an apron and start baking, John.
There you go. You know, that's
an
been,
idea I
hey,
Cooking some
John.
shit.
What was that song that you played at the beginning there about the
Mystic
gumbo?
Mystic Gumbo. John Lawrence.
You know, I always thought that was Mr. Gumbo.
No, Mystery
you know,
Gumbo, man.
This is something
Mystery.
that you and I should collab on, is doing music reviews where you play something that you know I haven't heard, and I'll play something that I know you haven't heard, and we do little music reviews. I was talking about that with Leo, Biker Leo.
Oh, yeah. Shit, yeah.
Yeah, dude. Because that's some
There's
great
one
content.
standard
Okay.
line with John. I know the song. I just don't know who sang it. I know the
Yeah.
song. Oh, got the song in my head. Now, of course, if it's somebody like the Beatles or, you know, something like that where it's obvious, you know.
Jazzy J.
Yeah. Who? I say. I didn't hear you, though.
The guy that sang the Gumbo song.
Oh, yeah, John Lawrence. Oh, man, I love everything the guy does. He does, and I have a list, and you know, look at what we've done. Look at what we've done. I like that. Vote. He's got two of them. Just vote number 1 and vote number 2. Now, this is just one album. This is his, you know, he's got a lot more music. And you can go to John Lawrence at Bandcamp and check out his music. He's got a lot more besides just political stuff. He's got some beautiful music. And
I'll find that and throw a link on the Discord for everybody.
indeed. I think we had it up there at one time.
Yeah,
I don't
hang
know.
on a second. I gotta find my right.
You know how
Gotta
fast
find
that
the right thing to click.
gets rolling? It's like watching the chat sometimes on the Discord. It's just flying.
John Lawrence at Bandcamp.
Yeah,
Did it work?
John Lawrence.
I can't
Yeah,
find it.
yeah, he does some fantastic music, and to think, that's all him. That's one man, and all that music. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's some nice stuff.
Oh, he does. He really has. I recommend anybody go by there and check out his music because I think you'll enjoy the shit out of it. Anyway, before we go, Steve Walsh just came in with a $2 donation and said, Mystery Gumbo, music rhymes. There you go. Appreciate that, Stephen. Yeah, I like John Lawrence's music. I like the guy. Always wanted to get me, John Lawrence, and David Robinson together for a photograph because I think we'd look a lot like ZZ Top right there. Three old guys with sunglasses on and long beards.
Man,
It
I'm gonna have to
works.
Start growing my beard out, I guess.
Hey, anyway, Miss Chick,
Mystic Gumbo Productions.
Mystic Gumbo.
Um,
There it is. There it is.
Anyways, John.
jhlawrence@bandcamp.com. Album.
Yeah, that one comes up to the protest one, but it should have
Right.
all the links to just
You should
click
have a link
around
in
and
there.
find other things.
Oh, yeah. He's got some great music.
He
Anyway.
does.
You got
Anyway,
anybody, you got anything you want to remind us of this week or call out?
I do. I want to remind people of lots of things. Let's see, today is the 8th, correct?
Yes.
May 13th, which that's probably Tuesday, I'm guessing, because I'm not looking at a calendar.
Well, of course it is. I'm not
There's some voting to happen here in Arkansas. We'll have local elections, Delaware State School Board elections, Minnesota special local elections, South Carolina local general, Wyoming local. So, and then on the 17th of May in Maine, and the 20th of May, Florida, there's a general runoff that might be important. In Pennsylvania, a statewide primary.
It is important to participate
Yes.
in these elections because there's always measures on the ballot. There's always measures on
Go
the
to
ballot.
Ballotpedia. Let me get
Go
that.
to your local Republican Central Committee and vote against everybody that they recommend.
Right,
every-
there's that.
Every county has a Republican Central Committee, and they're all putting out flyers and stuff this time of year. I just got mine in the mail. That tells me exactly who to not vote for.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
That's helpful.
Yep, keep voting until we can't vote anymore.
That's it.
That's how it goes.
And that's
We can make
fun.
history.
You'll feel good. You go in there and you vote. Every
And-
time you walk out, you feel better. You
Get out there and
participate.
resist any chance you get. If you see
Indeed.
somebody with a sign, stop, grab your sign out of your car, and go out and join them.
Go out there and yes.
Any day of the week,
Yes.
any place.
And there are
Just
protests
do it.
going on constantly damn near. All
Damn
over
near
the place.
around here. Yeah.
Yes. So
And
yeah.
specifically large ones on June the 6th and June the 14th. Don't forget those two. 50-51 on the 14th. No kings. That's across
Right.
all states, all capitals on the same day. And June 6th is the veterans
Veterans.
in Washington.
Indeed. I'd
Yes.
like to be there for that one. I would.
Yeah. I
Anyway.
think that's just one of many with the veterans, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we
Yeah.
had some people share some shit.
Who were the shit
That's-
sharers this week?
Another thing you can do is you can like,
Yeah,
share,
that's
and
right.
subscribe.
It's one of them things.
And when you take that shit, throw it against a fan, it spreads everywhere.
Spreads everywhere. Shit's on the
That's
wall.
what we want you to do.
That's what we want you to do. Share
And
this
you know
shit.
who did that?
Who did that?
Jim E. from Illinois, Gloria L. from Arizona, Dan R. from Michigan, Rufus J. from Tennessee. Rufus J. is one of our bigger shit sharers. He shares in
Outstanding.
multiple sites on Facebook.
Outstanding.
Thank you, Rufus.
Thank you, bub.
Jacqueline P. from California, Rebecca W. from Texas, and earlier tonight on YouTube, Richard R. said he shared this shit. So I'm
Outstanding,
calling
Richard.
out Richard R.
We appreciate
From
you
YouTube.
sharing that shit, buddy, and letting us know that you did. And
Yes.
you could share this shit, and Mr. Chick might call you out for it.
Just
So,
might.
and like Wanda Bell says, remember to click the like button. So,
Yeah,
thank you, Wanda.
hit that thumb.
Hit that shit. Stephen says, like that shit. Stephen Walsh. Anyway,
Thing.
Miss Chick, I appreciate you so much, darling.
Hey, I love you too, John.
I love you back, baby. Anyway, it's only Thursday. Mañana's Friday, and if there's any luck at all, I will get a rant out. I missed yesterday. It's been a rough few. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll try to hit Beer and Bud Friday, and then we will be back here again Sunday for another Blue Dot family meeting, and there is no telling what kind of shit is going to happen between now and then.
We're going to
So I'm
spin the
sure-
wheel.
Yeah,
Woo!
spin the wheel. Let the
See what
shit
comes up.
fly, baby, because I know there'll be plenty of it. Jamie B., thank you. You have a wonderful weekend, too, Wanda Bell. Love you back. Y'all have a great evening. And try to run every day. As much as it might suck, you'll find a reason to smile. And when you do, give that shit away. Anyway, y'all take care of yourself. I love you, and we'll be back here on Sunday. Y'all say goodnight.